Hello.
Well, hey, Bee, how you doing?
Good. Are we doing this?
We're doing it.
We're doing this? Let's do
Episode
this thing.
2. Episode 2.
Episode 2. I forget how it starts.
Well, I think we say
Hey.
hello and then we start talking. right?
Okay. I couldn't remember if we had this introduction or.
I think we
Oh,
do. I think we do. But if we start a new one, I can clip it and we only have to do it once if it sounds good.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hey, this is Bee Brooks.
And I'm Allie Bourgeois.
Welcome to Yogi and the Bee.
Yes.
Season 2,
Here we are.
episode 2.
Here we are. We both have microphones that are near our mouths.
Yeah.
If you had listened to episode 1, there was a little bit of a problem with microphone on floor. So I'm really trying to focus at keeping my mouth right here.
I will do the same, but you forgot one other thing.
What?
Floor and closet.
Oh, floor and closet. That is correct.
That's where you did your recording. Last time.
Show did.
We're not together this time, by the way.
We
Don't know
are
if you
not.
listeners can tell.
I don't think, well, no. Can you, listeners? Can you tell
Well-
that we're not together?
Then why are you insistent on where we record? You say it's better when we're together.
Well, since I've figured out how to do it now, where we have both of our voices on different takes, can't remember the word, I have already played around with it. The one that we practiced with on Wednesday, I made you the same volume as me. So we can do this anytime we want to.
Thank God.
I know.
That's,
We don't have to.
sometimes it's hard, but
Yeah, it
I
is very
prefer to
hard.
be with you. But anyway.
Indeed. We're gonna plan a Saturday soon.
Yeah.
Oh, what you up to, Bee Brooks?
Been working my patootie off, but that's a good thing. I had a little time off last week, so that was good and very much needed. And I feel rejuvenated a bit and back at it, just trying to stay organized in my head and make lists.
Do you
Try
like
to keep-
lists?
I love lists. Try to keep my calendar in check, other people's calendars in check.
Yes. I
But
love a
we're winding
calendar.
down to the end of the month, and that usually is pretty busy. We just got a few more days to get there, and good problem to have, I guess.
Oh, yeah. How has the new rule about the commission and everything affected y'all? Just a reminder, if you have forgotten, season 1, we kind of explained what we did, and Bee is the assistant of a real estate agent. And when
3 real
and I
estate
were-
agents.
3 real estate agents. So we were both really concerned when we heard the new rule about commission. Can you explain it to our European and Vietnamese listeners?
Because we are international.
Yes, we are.
I can. Most of it has to do with when we list properties in the MLS systems for our state. We have 2 in the state of Georgia. One is First MLS, which is FMLS, and the other is Georgia MLS. Not sure why we have 2, but we do. It's a little annoying. Most states just have 1. But when we're entering a listing, there's a section that we put how much the co-op agent will receive. So if I'm the listing agent, there's a section that says the agent that brings the buyer will receive 3%, which is typically split. 3
Okay.
to listing, 3 to buy. The really big deal is we are no longer able to list what the other agent will get paid.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just assumed in Georgia that the seller pays both sides of the commission.
Yeah.
Very long story short, nothing has gone into effect yet. at May and August. Things are just rolling right along. However, clients ask, some do, what it's about. And basically, it's just a good lesson in proving your value and proving your worth, that you do earn your commission. I mean, what if we charged by the hour like attorneys did?
Woo!
The time people don't realize. But anyway.
No. Please, people, realize if you have a yankering to go out on a Saturday and
Hankering.
look at anchoring?
Hankering.
If you have a hankering, I don't know words, by the way, hankering to go out and just have a snoop around the houses for the weekend, just because you're curious, think about that. Someone is taking you around, and it's a lot.
It's a
think
lot.
about that before, don't do it unless you really want to. How about that?
How about that?
Slammed my knee on the table. I don't know if everybody could hear that.
I saw it, but I didn't hear it. Are you okay?
I'm okay. Can we imitate the noise that Truman Capote
ever?
I hate him. I despise him. I want to throw knives at his face. The laugh.
Too much. Are y'all watching that, or are you?
We finished it. Oh
my gosh,
a long time ago.
That's old news, dude.
Please start watching The Jinx so we can talk about it. JINX. It's about a real estate tycoon in New York that has murdered 3 people. And obviously he's a psychopath, but it's so interesting that he gives himself away. I hate to do a spoiler, but he gives himself away in the bathroom with his microphone still on him. You got to watch it.
Dude,
you got to watch it.
I'm curious.
JINX.
Okay. Add it to the list. I thought of a fun little game I wanted to play with you. It's somewhat like rapid fire. Do you know what that means?
I think so, yes.
So you don't really give it much thought. It's just the first thing that comes to mind.
Ooh, all right. We're going to do it. We're going to do it now?
Yeah, it's food related.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's food related. So I started thinking, I think about food all the time. It's no surprise.
Doesn't everybody?
No, seriously, it's a problem. But anyway, I was driving home in traffic, and I was, trying not to think about traffic. So I was just noticing restaurants, fast food restaurants. And I would think, what brings me joy from each one? And I thought, gosh, I wonder what Allison does or thinks being vegan. And so this is just going to be like 10 places. Okay. If you were not vegan.
Oh, okay.
If you were not vegan, what would be your go-to?
Okay. Feeling the stress. I'm starting to sweat.
Are you pitting out? Are you nervous?
Yeah, 100%. Here we go.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Dairy Queen.
Blizzard.
What kind?
Banana cream pie blizzard.
McDonald's.
French fries.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A original sandwich with lots of pickles.
Burger King.
Ooh.
I know they have an Impossible Burger. But
my gosh. I loved a burger, just a Whopper from Burger King. But I also like their chicken sandwich because.
Me too, with some cheese, little mayo.
Yeah, the mayonnaise is what I like about Burger King.
Bam.
Mm-hmm.
Subway.
The tuna salad sandwich.
Yeah, dude.
Love it.
Blimpies.
I used to like the Blimpie. Maybe Italian one. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Steak and Shake.
Oh, they're just traditional hamburger. And I'm not a big fan of the fries. I don't like the small fries.
Yeah, me too. Dunkin' Donuts.
Ooh, the cake donuts, which I think we talked about in last season. I always thought that was the healthier option because it's not like just fried air. It is the most unhealthy one that you could eat. And that was my go-to. I like the blueberry one and just the,
Blueberry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Mrs. Winters.
I don't think I've ever eaten there.
Red Lobster.
Fried shrimp, fries, slaw, hush puppies. That was my go-to. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, wasn't that fun?
That was a
I
lot of
enjoyed
fun.
that.
That was a lot of fun. I feel like you know me better now. Well, I could tell by your responses that we were kind of on the same page of liking.
Yeah. I was just afraid that you were going to say French fries at every
Oh,
place.
at every
So
place.
glad you
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, yeah, you're
And
welcome.
then, sorry, and I'm going back. I said I wouldn't, but pizza, what would be your favorite pizza if you just ate regular pizza?
Pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Well
But
done.
the one at Amici's that blew me
Oh,
away and was life-changing, and I
yeah.
really think I could have died after the first one, is the chicken buffalo chicken pizza with
Oh,
blue
yeah.
cheese on top. Is it blue
Y'all,
cheese or is
yeah,
it?
y'all turned us on to that.
Oh my gosh. And you really
That,
just have to go home and lie down, you
oh, for
know?
gosh, that was addicting.
Yeah.
Every time we would come to Madison, we would either have it while we were there or we would stop and get it on the way home
Yeah, you did.
and
Yeah, you did.
just make yourself miserable.
Well, there's a meat cheese still downtown, or was that closed? Did it close?
I think it's closed.
Uh,
There was one on Spring Street.
a meat cheese, come back. COVID's over. Give us another chance. Not that I will eat there, but I want my friends to have the experience. Or you can just go to Madison or Athens. Where else do they have? They used to have one out at Lake Oconee.
Sure enough, shorty.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
It
Anyway,
is.
just a little fun food frolic. And then another thing I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being my guest today.
Oh, you're welcome.
I was looking at some of our Instagram shares, and you made a comment, this was months ago, about you got kicked out of the Ritz in
Ritz-Carlton.
London.
I did.
Were you working there or you
No,
were
no,
a
no, no. I was a
guest?
guest.
What?
Being American over there and being in the scene that I was in, because I was hanging out with some British fancy people. I didn't realize they were fancy. So there was a time that I went to meet Chicky Hampshire. We talked about her last.
She lives in Australia.
She does, in Sydney. She wanted me to go and see her aunt's kitchen and meet the chef in her aunt's kitchen. I was like, sure, cool, that's great. I mean, in the South, we had, the house cleaner would then, throw in some food at the end of the day, and you could eat that. Loved the rutabagas that Bacolia used to make. So anyway, it was in Holland Park. I lived off High Street, Kensington, which is on the other side of the main road, High Street, Kensington. And so kind of walked over there. I was wearing this jeans and sneakers and a green kind of army looking jacket, but it was long. I loved it. My parents got it for me at Harrods. I felt all fancy for, being a tomboy. So anyway, I go and I ring the doorbell, and Chicky goes and she answers the door at the house, and we go downstairs. It's this unbelievably cool, awesome house. I wish I could go back now and just take pictures. But we went down. She gets a telephone call from her aunt who owns Blake's in London, which is a hotel. And she gets a call from her aunt, and the aunt says, please tell that person to leave my house. And I had to leave. So I'm just telling you, I was involved going to the cooking school in London with kind of hoity-toity.
Hoity-toity. It's okay. I'm here.
And
I'm here to help.
Thank you. But I did meet the chef and saw the kitchen. It was unbelievably cool. But anyway, I was in cooking school with one of the royals in line. So I just didn't really think about it. It was just like, oh, we're all having this adventure together. So anyway, I went to the Ritz-Carlton to answer your question in a really long about way. I was there with an American friend of mine and a couple of British friends of mine. And I was being just loud me, when I've had a gin and tonic or whatever, I don't have them anymore, but I used to enjoy them. I would get kind of loud and kind of laughy. And they came and they said, you must leave now.
Because you were being too rowdy.
Mm-hmm. But
wow.
It was like, I live right down the road. What's the problem? And they escorted me out.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are wild.
I didn't say I was wild. I was just laughing loud.
Mm-hmm. I
Right?
I wasn't sure what that all meant.
Maybe I was rowdy.
It's hard to it's hard to remember. I thought you were going to say it was because of your outfit or something.
Probably had a lot to do with that too, because it was, kind of fancy. And I'm sure I was wearing jeans and a sweater and a cashmere coat. I wasn't
Sounds fancy.
looking the part. I don't know. I'm just me.
It's not easy being me.
Or green.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Or green.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I've interrupted you now about 4 times. What were you going to say? Somebody had a question or they wanted our advice?
Oh, yes. Okay. So we do have a question. Let's see.
Is this from one of our listeners? Or
It is.
Okay.
It is from one of our listeners. And one of our listeners just sent me a text right now. She said she sent a test question via our subscription, which she guesses I didn't get.
Well,
so I will deal with that later. But the one that I did get this afternoon, and I so appreciate y'all asking because it makes it way more fun. And it has you kind of a part of this too. But I'm going to give you the answer now. Someone is asking our advice, and she would like to know how to manage disappointment, expectations, and adult friendship. What are your thoughts on that, Bee?
Well, gosh, that's a tricky one. But so the whole explanation of disappointments are just disappointment are unmet expectations.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's not what the question was. But I think that the older we get, or at least I find with myself, I don't worry about it as much because I feel like I don't have a lot of confidence in much, but I do feel like I'm a good friend. And so I hope I am. And so I guess I need a couple things. I need a more specific example of what that means, but also I think we just get more, I think we kind of raise the bar a little bit the older we get and we expect more because
I agree.
I think you realize what you give and what you get. And if those don't match, then it's hurtful and or disappointing.
I agree. I think just realizing my first feeling when I read it was realizing that we're all stretched very thin. And
yes,
I mean, with how many friends you have and how many friends I have, we're just like giving out little breadcrumbs. And it would be nice, like thinking about my birthday next week, I'm thinking, gosh, couldn't we all just do it at once? Like everyone I know, and we could do it at once. And that way, we're all having fun. We're all having the quality time that we don't get normally because we're spread too thin. And I never have the courage to tell a friend. And I've had many moments where I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell this friend that they're letting me down because they're not showing up and I need them to show up. But I'm not going to do that to somebody. That's me. That's not them. They're just doing the best that they can.
Yeah. It's hard. And I do think it's all about boundaries. I think too that you can exhaust yourself. I know I can exhaust myself of trying to meet other people's expectations or be at their beck and call. And it's just, you can't do that anymore.
No, you can't. You can't.
And I have had a couple of, probably in the past 10 years, I've had a couple of hard conversations, but I would I would write a letter.
Yeah.
Or something, and then we would talk about it later.
Oh, I like that because then that keeps you clear.
Yeah, that's happened more than once.
Wow, I haven't gotten a letter.
Yeah.
Have you ever written one and like thrown it away or burned it or? Want to say this, but she's too crazy, so I'm just gonna wad it up and throw it in the trash.
No. Yeah, so I don't really know how to manage it other than just be aware when you are disappointed or if you feel like you've disappointed other people. With all these podcasts I've been listening to of late, kind of since COVID, and just don't care anymore about you just have to tell people what you think, how you're feeling.
I really do think the podcasts that you've been listening to have really impacted you in a positive way. Because remember, your fear of missing out. I mean, you
Yes.
don't have that anymore. I mean, it's like it was an old sweater that you've given to Goodwill. So that's great.
Well, it's so funny you say that because I don't want to go on until you feel like we've covered this, but the fear of missing out was something I wanted to talk about today. But
No, we can talk about that.
yeah, I was talking to this friend of mine who has recently become a stepdad, and he is trying to, learn how to co-parent, and he's not had kids of his own, so he's just kind of learning, bedtime and house rules and things like this. And anyway, long story short, he was just telling me about a couple of incidences that have happened, and the kids are like under 10. And so there's bedtime even in the summer, but there's like 4 or 5 years difference between the two children.
Wow.
So the youngest one always has to go to bed first.
Yeah.
At like 8:30.
Yeah.
Well,
Yummy,
that's
yummy.
my problem.
Yummy, yummy.
Because I had to go to bed early, and I always felt like I was missing out. Always. And I was mad about it. And I was like, now granted, if one of my siblings is 15 and I'm 6,
Yeah.
I get that. But
Yeah.
3 to 5 years difference. I mean, you're a mother. I don't know. But anyway, that helped explain a lot, because I would always go to bed and the party wasn't over.
Oh, yeah. 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 I was always glad to head on out. And if you could just keep it down, that'd be good.
Oh, that's what you would tell them?
Well, my parents and their friends got a little fun and rowdy, but anyway, I wanted to go to sleep and spend the night parties, and I was like, can we go to sleep now? But I just think that being with people makes you so darn happy. It's like a completely different situation.
It does.
For both of us. Yeah.
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 It does. Most of the time. But like when I'm tired, I'm tired. And then so I'm getting there. I'm not like I used to be, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm by myself this week. I have not packed it out. I've had some great time with my dog and just me, and I'm going to do that again tonight.
I'm so proud of you. I think it's good to recharge.
Yeah.
So is that the end of the fear of missing out conversation?
I feel like it is, but I just realized maybe that's why I have it. But what's also interesting is you are the youngest as well, but we feel differently about it. So that's good.
Yeah. So I think your friend and the stepkids, I think they're all going to work it out. They always do.
Oh yeah. And he's doing a great job.
That's awesome.
It's just interesting to hear him talk about it and how he's handling it. And he was cute. He was like, well, it's kind of fun because it really makes you kind of reflect on yourself and, how did you grow up? And
oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. We are going to go into our segment about advice, and I'd like to read you Miss Manners, who writes for the Washington Post, and one of my students went to Wesleyan with her, along with Hillary Clinton. I just know the coolest people at PHP.
Wow.
All right, so this one is my friends vented to me about me. Okay. So she says, Dear Miss Manners, I have been mortified twice by close friends while talking on the phone. They each told a story about another friend who repeatedly annoys them with certain behavior. It was only later that I realized they were talking about me.
Oh.
What does Miss Manners think of this way of criticizing a friend? It says that your friends are not as smart as you think they are. Miss Manners wonders how they would respond to. So I'm going to give you the two options, Bee, but what I would like for you to do is give your advice before I read Miss Manners' advice. What do you advise this poor lady who has been made fun of to her about her annoyances?
Well, I might say, well, gosh, that sounds like something I might do.
Okay. Yeah.
You're not talking about me, are you? That kind of reminds me of me.
Okay.
Or isn't that ironic that this just happened to us 2 days ago when we were on the phone?
I like it.
I don't know. I'd probably have to call him on it because I ain't in the mood for a lot of bullshitting around. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree. Just get it out. Like, what the heck? Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Whoa. First of all, let's laugh about this. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'm not going to be that annoying person anymore. So I think you and I are both on the same pages about deal with it, laugh about it, hopefully move on. Miss Manners wonders how they would respond to option 1. Oh my goodness, you're talking about me? I had no idea that I annoyed you. I'm so very sorry. Please accept my apologies. I am mortified. Repeating yourself until they cringe in embarrassment. Or option 2. That is completely annoying. How can you stand such a person? Incredible. And on, continuing not to let on that you realize it is you until their heads explode. So I think we were sort of online with Miss Manners.
Yeah, the second option is pretty passive aggressive. Like, yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think we're doing.
If I crunch popcorn too loud in the movie, just give me a little nudge. If I've got something in my teeth, tell me. If I repeat myself, just go like this.
Oh, okay.
Already told me one time.
All right.
I know what I do that drives my sister crazy and my partner crazy. What? It very well may drive you crazy.
What'd you just do? Did you do something?
A slight, subtle sniff.
Oh, you were doing that in episode 1 and we got it. It's clear as day. You can go back and listen to it anytime.
Oh,
you can have it on
did
repeat.
We already talk about this?
No. We were talking about nose spray and you said, you know what I got to do right now? I got to sniff.
Oh, this is not good.
This is real good because I am the editor. Any complaints about sound quality, complain to me. I am the one and the only, and I suck at this job, but I'm doing it with love.
I think you're doing a great job.
Bee.
It's hard. You're so tenacious and give it your best shot, and you don't give up.
Don't.
Whereas I would be like, I can't do this. Somebody else figure it out.
I get to the point where I'm like, this is what it's going to be. Sorry, everybody. Well, anyway, next time we're going to have the question that has gone somewhere. I'm going to go to Buzzsprout. Thanks, Buzzsprout. You've been awesome. And see if the question is there. That's probably where it is. B, I hope that you have a great downtime for yourself with your puppy pup.
Puppy pup, Frankie Frank. I appreciate that, and I look forward to our next visit together.
I do too, B. And aren't you going somewhere this weekend?
Just down to see some friends, Lisa and Wendy.
Have fun.
But not until Saturday.
Have a blast, and I will talk to you soon.
Sounds great. I look forward to the next time, okay?
Me too, B.
Bubbles and blah blah.